Cause it's time to do over now. It's time for murder blues.
I have so much sweat dripping down between my boobies.
Sweat drops down my balls.
That's about
these
one of the better
females
intros
call.
I've ever been a part of in my podcast career.
Well, I mean, usually it's just what is in Kin's ass and what is she pulling out of her ass. And
No, it's your ass.
I mean,
Listen, I'm so sweaty.
So
Sorry.
one day,
Clearly.
I walk out of Kin's stream and come back a couple minutes later, and her and chat are discussing how many raccoons I could fit up my ass, and I'm just like, which Kin knows why. There's also extra fucking the context to that fucking the raccoon statement, because yeah, but Kin was so yeah, I was dealing with that, and I was like, what is going on?
It's because you've got a big old cod, so then that means your butthole is stretched. Hey, do you think if you took the raccoons on walkies that they would like get skinny enough and you could put more raccoons in your ass?
Hey, Brian, do you know any ladies that would like to start podcasting
do.
about horrors?
I do, but you know, I don't care. Shit go nowhere, bro.
God damn it!
Yeah,
Every time I talk in kids' chat for the first time, I get Rod loves his walkies, and I want to
set it up.
Fucking scream!
I set it up so I have it set up to like tier 2 subs or higher get their own entrance sound for the first time they talk in chat. So it'll play like a 2 to 12 entrance sound, second entrance sound. But Rod's is set to just say that Rod loves walkies.
This is what I deal with on a regular basis from my friends.
What can I say except you're welcome?
I get internet noogies and wedgies from fucking another country. Like,
that's right.
Kin is Canadian now, and she bullies me. She's a
I'm not
Canadian bully.
No, I don't know the Canadian national anthem.
Isn't it a Celine Dion song?
Canada.
Probably.
It's either a Celine Dion song or a Nickelback song.
No,
right?
Rush.
Look at this photograph.
Yeah, it's
Rush.
Photograph. I'm
It's
just
Rush.
gonna dub it.
It's Rush.
It's a
Rush
Rush
song?
It's a Rush song. It's Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, it's Tom Sawyer. That's what the Canadians are obsessed with, is Rush.
It should be a Hail the Villain song. Have you ever heard of Hail the Villain? Oh, they were fucking it. They only put one album out, but they were fucking amazing.
Dude, you know
Hail
what?
the Villain. Awesome.
Dude, also, the new Knocked Loose album is fucking great. If you
That's what you were telling me.
Yeah, and I started listening to this fucking group called the Home Team, which is
The
like,
Home Team?
Yeah, which is like they're pop. I think because I've listened to The Surface by Beartooth so many times that they're like, oh, he wants pop metal kind of music, and so like
It's fun.
the Home Team, it's like it sounds like a pop song with like metal, like guitars and shit, and I'm just like, oh, I totally dig this shit. And they have like an EP that they've been putting out this year, and I'm just like, dig this.
You should link
I
it
went
to me.
back in
please.
time a little bit musically recently, and I spent like the last few days listening to nothing but Cradle of Filth.
Oh God! So you were like,
have you ever heard of Cradle of Filth, Ken?
Yes.
Okay.
That were
they're
relevant
fantastic.
when Kin was like still pooping in a
Listen,
diaper.
There's
They're
a
still
few
relevant. They
things.
still put out new music.
I knew of Cradle of Filth a long time ago, but there's also a whole great segment on the Mighty Boosh that includes Cradle of Filth. If you've never watched the Mighty Boosh, definitely recommend it. It's early Matt Berry. No, Cradle of Filth is in the IT crowd. Also Matt Berry. Apologize. But they do a whole thing about how this one guy, like, he's going through a hard time and he finds Cradle of Filth, and it changes his life and it makes him like he goes like goth and he like won't leave his house and like he's very like weird in person and it's all because Cradle of Filth saved
Fuck
his life.
yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Cradle of Filth was relevant in about 1992, which is why I made that point. But in Kin would have been too shitting her diapers. So
Cradle of Filth really didn't start to blow up till around 99, honestly, 99. So you're
during the new metal, but I don't know. Was it?
No, that was they. Well, they definitely aren't part of the new metal craze because they aren't new metal.
I know,
more,
but
there would be more extreme metal. But yeah, and then they kind of became a little bit like symphonic metal, and then they actually started putting out some more mainstream style metal, but they've always been that very, very, very extreme.
Have you guys, either of you, listened to Finch?
Yeah, I used to love Finch.
Yeah, me too. So I've seen them live a few times. They just rolled out. I don't know if it's like maybe labeled wrong or if Nate is just bored, but they've rolled out a new song and it's just like EDM.
I mean,
really?
bands do that occasionally. I mean, it's very much like
that's funny.
I mean, Nate has his own thing that's like yes.
Okay, so if you guys want to waste 5 minutes. Their big song was
My Own Worst Enemy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to their Spotify and look up the lit shit and look up My Own Worst Antihero. It's the same song with new lyrics and new melodies to the same music, and it's honestly kind of a fucking banger. It's actually pretty fucking badass.
Dude, that's
My Own
Worst Anti-Hero. And
dude,
that's actually pretty fucking good.
My Own Worst Enemy was
the same music.
They were like, that song was on Sony's SingStar, which was like their karaoke game back in the day.
Probably, yeah.
And, oh my god.
Yeah, that song was like the best song in that whole thing, and it's just like
I used to sing that song in karaoke on occasion.
Dude, yeah. I don't. The closest I get to karaoke is Yakuza games and there because I can't sing, motherfucker. I will sing in my car like a horrible human being in the horrible singing. I mean, but like that's about
everybody can sing, Rod.
I will scream at Make Damn Sure in the car as loud as I can until I almost pass out, going as fast as I can. That was my saving grace there for a few months.
I'm telling you, everybody can sing. I could teach you.
I mean, I'll sing, but it's not gonna. There is a fundamental issue with my vocal cords being able to properly.
The reason why that is God blessed you with a giant cock, so he took away your ability to sing. He had to like make some.
Man, that's a bummer though. He really should have took away like your ability to walk or something because like that's.
Have you seen?
If you had a big dick and could sing, like you would be just getting all laid. But you don't need to you don't need to walk.
And yet he let Ronnie Radke sing, and then here we are.
Isn't that a shame?
Dude, I was like, he does a song with Alex Terrible, who is got weird Nazi ties as a Russian, and you start going, could they? And then he puts his profile, his like mugshot is the album artwork, and I'm just like, you are. It's like. I saw him, like, it was them in Motion. It was them in Ice Nine Kills at Red Rocks, and Ronnie Radke he got into that suit from that song he came out, this flight suit or whatever.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And it tore after like a song or two, and they tried to fix it, and he sang one more song, and he threw a temper tantrum because his outfit was tore, and he ended the show. Like, no encore, nothing.
Yeah, he's kind of a prick.
He's kind of a no, prick isn't the right word. Douchebag is the understatement, but yeah.
He does so much clickbaity bullshit too.
Oh yeah.
He's one of those that like he'll go out of his way to like stay relevant. So like if he hears somebody's talking shit, hi honey, he'll try to drag them or whatever, and I'm like, dude, come on, like nobody gives a fuck anymore. You've got some. It irritates me though because he did some covers recently and they were okay, but they weren't great, and everybody was like, oh my god, and I'm like, dude,
their cover of Last Resort by Papa Roach I think was honestly just
I thought it was overrated as hell.
Yeah,
dude, that song, well, I can't listen to it anyways because the reason I got started on tattoos, my friend Chris committed suicide, and when we went to Europe together, like a year and a half, I mean, a little over a year before that happened. And the whole time we were in Europe, he was borrowing my Papa Roach Last Resort CD, and you just go, "Oh, okay, here we are." You know, wonder why, and you just go, "Yeah." And my whole point with Raggy though is that he's a talented dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's
denying that.
exceptionally talented.
and he's like a rock star. He's like one of the few like rock stars we have. It seems like you know the last whatever. But he's such a douchebag, and you're just like,
Yeah, he's a massive bag of fuck.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
a
just go,
bag of
yeah,
fuck.
yeah. So I'm like, you fucking suck, dude. And it sucks because he's put out some songs, but it's like, and he's also one of those guys like, I don't care if you play your music on my music on Twitch, which I'm like, cool, but you're
It auto does it. It's not like you're gonna.
yeah.
It's their label. It doesn't matter what the artist says.
Yeah,
but
that's the
artists
thing
are
is
getting
like
DMCA'd.
they don't own their music. Their label
No.
owns their music, so he can say
Exactly.
that all he wants. It's the label. And, like the people that own their label, like people like Drake. It's
Yeah.
like Drake owns his label. I think Metallica owns their label too. But of course, Metallica doesn't give shit away.
I think is Slipknot's doing their own shit now because they finally completed their 20-year Roadrunner Records contract last year.
Yeah, I think
so-
you're right.
Yeah.
I think
It was
they
like-
do have
It's
their own.
amazing.
It was like literally it might have been a 20. I think it was a 25-year contract actually because I think they signed in '98, and then
Something like that.
and
Yeah.
then their first album came out in '99. But
Well,
like,
their first album with Corey came out.
Yeah.
Because they put an album out before that, but
Yeah.
nobody talks
Dude,
about.
I always love going to festivals that had Stone Sour and Disturbed on the same show. I'm like, oh, you got the angriest little people you could find to run around on stage, huh? Because those two are both little. So I was gonna ask you guys, have you been watching anything before we go and dive into Abigail?
Before we do that, hi, we're Murder Moose. We're part of the Slash and Cast podcast network.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.
It's in my ass. Okay.
It's in my ass.
We are Murder Moose, though. Yes. Thank you, Ken, for being professional
You're
here,
welcome.
unlike me.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you guys watched anything over the weekend?
I've been watching Game of Thrones for the first time, and I am about halfway through season 2 already.
Yeah, her chat was wanting to watch the Red Wedding episode with her, and she was very confused. And
I
I'm
don't know
like,
what
you're
that
gonna-
is, and I
you're
don't
gonna-
want to know.
So, you don't have to.
I've never
tell
seen
me.
one
No,
episode of Game
okay.
of Thrones.
I'm not going to tell you
yeah.
anything. So, why I was going to tell you was that people who knew what it was would record people who didn't know what it was as reactions to the episode when it aired live. So it's very much a like people are like have a specific reaction when something happens, and yeah, so that's what it was. Because I remember because I read the books first, so I knew it was coming, and yeah,
I started the books.
I tried to start the books, but if a book has like a gajillion names, especially weird names, and a lot of them like look kind of similar, like
that's
that's
Lord
like
of the Rings.
Tyrus to like whatever, I can't.
Lord of the Rings
it's
is like
too
that.
much.
All the Lord of the Rings books are like 7 A like words that start with A, and you're just like, and there's like 6 letters they share, and they're just jumbled around, and you start going, huh, you are what? But yeah, I mostly like the show. I don't like the last season very much, but like
Nobody likes the last season
yeah,
of Game of Thrones.
but yeah. Are you enjoying it though so far, Ken? You seem
Oh
like
yeah, I'm in love.
yeah.
I'm in love.
It's if you like fantasy, high fantasy, it's very cool. And there's so many good actors like Linda, or what's her name, the Cersei, who whatever her name is.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
She reminds me so much of the actress from Handmaid's Tale, the commander's
Yeah.
wife. But like, oh, she's so good.
She was the bad guy in Dread. If you never saw
Yes, she was.
Carl Urban Dread, she's the bad guy in that. And
Oh,
which
that's
is
such a good fucking movie.
Oh yeah, especially in 3D. I saw that in that was one of those movies that was worth watching in 3D. Anything else, Ken? Was that like you just been sucked into the Game of Thrones? Well, you been watching anything, Brian?
Yes and no. Well, first of all, I watched the movie that we're getting ready to talk about. But I've been like going through and watching old bad canon films again. I go through periods where I just have to pull out the shittiest cinema ever
So-
and just really appreciate the fuck out of it.
It's
So
your
pretty much
fault then?
anything-
It's your fault?
Do what?
It's your fault?
It's my fault. What is my fault?
Roger Corman died? That was your fault?
No. Yeah, that's not my fault. No.
Roger
I
Corman
was
died
sad when I
yesterday.
heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That is
yeah.
awful. Yeah,
Yeah.
Roger Corman. passed
Wasn't
away.
Canon one was one of his production companies, wasn't it?
No.
Or
But good try. No. Menahem Golan and Yoram Globus are the
okay.
guys that did the canon films. So I'm talking like Cobra.
I love
Missing in
Cobra.
Action. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, everybody loves Cobra. You better love Cobra. Ken, have you ever seen Cobra?
No, but I love it. I've been told that I have to.
Fuck yeah. Okay, you know what we should do? We should record. We should all watch Cobra and record her watch.
You're just turning into your other podcast, Brian.
No. Just for like a one-off Patreon episode or some shit for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should totally. I just want to be there when she watches it and sees the awesomeness that it is.
Yeah,
because
Cobra.
it's really, really bad, but so fucking good at it.
Dude,
I'm all about the bad.
His
good.
name is Marion Cobretti. How fucking that's some big dick energy. Like,
That is some big dick energy,
that's
100%.
massive cock energy.
It is.
You can't even call it. It's MCE, massive cock energy.
Dude.
It's the most gorgeous
Dude,
shit.
the 80s action movies, man, with the Arnold things, like it's like Cobra is almost like it's like Sylvester's version of like Commando, kind of like that, like
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Dude,
Marion fucking Cobretti,
I-
bro.
I will never stop loving Arnold going, I lied, and then murdering that dude.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
he said
on fucking
yeah.
Cobra or Commando. Yeah, when he drops his ass, David
Yeah.
Patrick Kelly, I believe, is
Yeah.
who that was. If memory
Yeah,
serves me
I love
correctly.
that movie. I started watching Hannibal, so I'm like,
Oh, nice.
I already watched a season and a half of that, and that
That's
show
really
is
good.
The last season that came out was so much gore porn that it was like almost too much, but I loved that show.
Dude,
oh,
Yeah,
after like so Brian Fuller, the guy who did that show, was supposed to be making the 24 A24 Friday the 13th show, and they're not doing it with him anymore, and there are rumblings because he was accused of sexually harassing someone doing some queer music project that he made. Like, I don't know if it was a mini series or what it was, and I'm just like, no more scummy people doing things. And then like, yeah, and I'm just like, I did not know that. And then who the fuck was I talking to? And they were talking about I was talking about the dude, the kid from Baby Driver and what are those movies called? The young adult, like, dystopian future. What are those movies called? But the main kid from Baby Driver, where he got accused of like sending pics or like sexting with an underage girl, and I'm just like,
you're
why?
talking about the kid from West Side Story.
Yeah, was that him too? Yeah, was it Baby Driver kid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Baby Driver.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
What were those young adult movies he was in that were like,
Ansel Elgort.
yeah,
Is that his name? Fuck,
He's just-
I can't remember.
he's Baby Driver.
Yeah, Baby Driver. Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? But I'm like, I don't know why somebody had to tell me that, but I'm like, why is there no such thing as a celebrity that isn't like doing
Piece of shit.
Yeah, it's, God damn, that
I
sucks.
don't know,
Stop
man.
it.
It's like, yeah, it's one of those things where in this day and age, with the way social media is nowadays, like your shit's gonna get out there, man.
Yeah.
Like your bad juju that you put out into the world, eventually it's gonna come out, and that's it's just, it's hard. It's one of those things where it certainly disciplines us to either really, really pick and choose who we want to support in the entertainment business, who we want to give our money to or
Yeah.
time to or anything like that. Or B, it disciplines you to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah. And
I honestly kind of pick and choose from both. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I do, because like if I because you know, let's say for example, wrestling. I'm a big wrestling nerd. Fucking love wrestling. I shouldn't watch anything that WWE puts out. I really shouldn't.
Yeah, Vince
Because
is,
Vince McMahon is a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
He's garbage. He's human fucking excrement, and I know that. I've known that since I was fucking 10. You know.
So in 1932.
Yeah, so 1932, 10-year-old Brian saw Bruno Sammartino teach Hulk Hogan how to walk. So yeah, I mean, like I have to pick and choose my battles when it comes to that kind of shit. And it sucks. It sucks. It really does, because I fucking love WWE. It's the shit I grew up watching, so I'm gonna continue to watch it. Thankfully, he's completely removed from the company and doesn't have anything to do with them anymore. And Triple H has taken over, and he's kind of taken it in a new direction and shit. So I feel a little less scummy watching WWE than what I used to.
I mean, as I saw more spirals of J.K. Rowling over the weekend on Twitter, where I'm just like this. I mean, Ken knows this too. It's like the woman who like Harry Potter was such a thing in my youth. Like, I mean, not even my youth, but as my teenager and early 20s, and then you go, this woman is so fucking stupid on Twitter that even Elon Musk is asking her to calm her shit down. And it's just like, it's just like, when racist.
What did she? I'll have to look and see what she did recently.
I know what she did recently. She was commenting on a trans woman about how it was a middle-aged fugly man, basically, and like for no reason other than to be a mean cunt. And it's just like, yeah, fuck you.
We have enough of those people out there. Like there's a I noticed a guy the other day that goes to different female streamers and like calls them out for being trans and all this stuff. And like some of them are not, like, and not that it matters, but like it was mind blowing. I was like, do you not have anything better to do?
Yeah.
And like he'll post like weird ass photos of people, and it's weird.
Dude, that's the biggest troll comment. People come in because it's her voice mostly. She's got that deeper voice, Classy Katie. And like people, are you trans? And it's like, what are you talking? Katie, one, is a very pretty lady, but two, it's like, why do you like? Because she's got a deeper voice. It's like it's It just, people
sometimes people come in and they'll ask me, and I'm like, I mean, does it matter? Like, does it really concern you?
You're not gonna. Is Ken?
It'll be weird, man.
You're never gonna find out. So why do you care?
Ken is not posting a roast beef sandwich on the internet, so like it does not matter.
Roast beef.
Wow, that's.
Let's
talk about Abigail.
Arby's. We got the meat, and then we can go. Okay, yes. Let's talk about Abigail, which came out last month and is already on streaming. And I don't know what the fuck Universal's doing, but here we are. Another company you go.
Bad promotions, man.
I mean,
bad fucking horrible marketing.
We already talked about them in the last voyage of the Demeter and a couple of weeks ago, and we're back again going, Universal, what are you doing? Because because that movie.
Please allow me to read the description.
The synopsis.
Yeah, this is synopsis. After a group of
That was my fault.
No. After a group of criminals kidnap a ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they've been locked inside with no normal girl. What the fuck are you doing, Rod?
I was watching the whole time.
I'm riding a roller coaster.
He's showing off his new ink. Is what he's doing.
You can't really see my new ink, but yes.
No, you can't. It just it looks like a big blob of blah.
Speaking of them not like really promoting it very well, I mean, it was $28 million to make, and they only pulled in 37.5 million.
I mean, you have to say it has to be 1.5 times or 2.5 times.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because of the marketing.
So they would have wanted to at least make like $110 million in order to make money.
But it's so good.
Well, I mean, again, so we were talking about this. I mean, that's why kind of one of the reasons why I was going off about it last week or 2 weeks, was it whatever it was about, like, I think it was last week because Lisa and that movie made no money, and the Fall Guy had made no money that weekend before that. And it's just been like, and then we have this, the Planet of the Apes movie came out this weekend, and it made 110 million. So people go see things they want to see, but it's like,
I didn't know it did that well.
Yeah, it made a shit ton of money. And I'm sitting here going, as someone who has only watched one of those movies, I'm like, oh, I liked it, but then they, you know, I mean, this is like 3 movies later. I'm just like, I don't know. The movie Hollywood's weird, man, and the writer's strike and everything else, and this is like, I don't know what is happening. This movie deserved to make a bunch of money, but like, this is another vampire. Like, that's what people are going, vampire movies don't make money anymore because this movie, and then it was like Renfield last year. I mean, I think Nosferatu is going to be awesome. It probably won't make any money this year. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, man. But nothing in horror has done like great this year. I don't think nothing has made any money from horror films this year. So it's like, it's not just like vampire movies. It's just like horror movies aren't doing great in the box office. Like the second Winnie the Pooh movie made like $500,000 or something insane like that. It was like no money at all, like, which is what it deserved. But like, it's just like the first one made like $10 million or $5 million or something like that. And so they put like, gave it $1 million budget, and then it made the Dark Pooniverse is not doing so well as it starts
The
out.
Dark Pooniverse.
Yeah. So I don't know. Also, let's go and talk about what's his name, the guy who died after me. That's
Angus Cloud.
Yeah. I'd never. He's like. Hasn't been in that much. He
looks like Mac Miller.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Oh, did he die?
Yeah, that's
Angus Cloud. Yeah, he passed away very shortly after filming the movie of him.
He died of a
heroin overdose.
Yeah, a drug overdose, and it's very much like he had been on that. He was on the drug show on HBO with
Euphoria.
With Mrs. Spider-Man. MJ was on. That's like where
That's too bad, because he reminds me of like fuck, what's his name? Dude with face tattoos that
Post Malone?
Yes, he reminds me kind of Post Malone, like a prettier Post Malone.
He's Mac Miller. Yeah. Mac Miller's, like he said, who also died of a drug overdose. Right?
He looks so much like Mac Miller.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it's very sad. He was just a baby too. He was only like 25.
He was third. Like yeah.
Heroin,
super young.
Dude. Heroin is a hell of a fucking drug, man. And anything that they go, you will never feel as happy again after doing heroin. Like, it fucks up your not, what the fuck is the happy drug, whatever that is in your brain.
Serotonin.
Yeah, it fucks up your serotonin so badly that, like, literally the instant you do heroin, you are just chasing that high of like that happy thing, is because it fucks up your serotonin shit so badly. And it's just like, man, I mean, as someone who goes, you do you, boo, and is just like, that shit is just like, man, that is. I've joked before that, like, you go, I'm going to hit 7. I said this when I was, like, probably 25. We're like, when I hit 70, I'm going to do black tar heroin. And it's like, no, fuck that. It's
black tar heroin.
Yeah.
Right into my ass crack.
Right into my asshole. The best, purest way to do heroin is right into the asshole. Right into that.
Just sexy soft spot right on the taint and just fucking shit.
Could never get
right in there.
No, won't ever get infected because you'll be dead.
Or you can find a nice crisp vein on your pecker. Just blast it right into that. Yeah.
I knew this girl.
Shoot it between your toes and call it a day.
Dude, I knew this girl in high school. I actually kind of went out with her a couple, and I didn't realize and put 2 and 2 together later on that her and some other girl had been doing morphine and doing that and like injecting it between their toes. And I was just like, and this girl was real smart. So like, I'm just like, inject the shit in between your toes. It's the thing, man. You never know. Most people who do heroin don't do heroin because they're happy, is what I was gonna say. It's not a. I'm doing
I've done
great.
a lot of drugs. I've done a lot of drugs, and that's one of the few that I'm glad I was able to like completely avoid. You know.
Oh yeah, Brian was doing meth right before the podcast. But that's beside.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Snorting it out of assholes, just like
That's why I
we're
was
talking
here
about.
so early. I was like, fucking go!
Let's go. Ready.
I cleaned up my fucking office up here. I cleaned the fucking shit out of my office. Cleaned the whole floor with a toothbrush. All
It's
of
like
it.
when I accidentally took so much Ritalin, I thought I was gonna fly out the window.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, I was glad I
Dude.
was able to avoid shit like that.
Dude, I was talking about this with my I had a buddy in town on Thursday who I knew from Twitch, and we were talking about Adderall and shit, and we were talking about like the first time you do Adderall and you're just like, I need a cigarette, 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 because it's like fucking, it's just like if you've ever smoked, it's like if you're in that age bracket where you self-medicated with coffee and cigarettes, then you kind of know like, yeah.
Raise his hand.
Yeah, that was me.
I did that today.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just, it was interesting, like, not interesting. It's just like a sad note attached to this movie, and so like he's like the first one who dies in the film, so he's in about a half an hour, 40 minutes,
15 minutes.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It's longer than that because like I still think my favorite scene with him in the movie is when he like scares the shit out of Lisa Frankenstein and
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
So,
hilarious.
That was
Ken,
really good.
Ken, what was the budget of this film? You said. You
It was 28 million.
Man, so is all special effects? I assume. I mean, because it's like maybe in the big houses or whatever. I'm not sure, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably definitely a lot in special effects.
Yeah, because they did a lot of practical effects in this movie too.
Yeah, it was so. I just have to say the girl Alicia Weir, phenomenal. Like somebody give this girl more roles. The
She's
girl
so
who
good.
plays Abigail. Oh my god, I love her.
yeah.
I don't care if people don't like her. That's fine. I love her. Please put her in every horror movie that ever comes out.
Who
Thank you.
doesn't? Were people complaining about her online?
I have no idea. I didn't look.
Okay.
No,
I didn't
I
say
haven't
anything.
I've seen nothing but praise, and honestly, and I gotta piggyback that because she had people that are children that are cast in roles like this. That's a fucking challenge because not only do they need to be able to sell a child, she also has to sell that she's like 200 years old or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So she's got a level of maturity to her that normal kids wouldn't have. So I think it's impressive when kids can do that kind of role. Like, take Kirsten Dunst from like Interview with the Vampire. Also, because she was fantastic in that role. Of course, you know, she didn't live quite as long as Abigail had, obviously. But yeah, it's impressive when a child takes on a role like that and just kind of fucking nails it. She was really good in this.
The way you talked about that reminds me of What We Do in the Shadows, where Laszlo turns a 6-month-old into a vampire.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's he finds out where Batista is there with him, and like he's like, they accused me of turning a baby into a vampire. That's fucked up. Who do that? And he's like, if I ever get a hold of him, I'm gonna stab him 5,000 times. And it's just Matthew Perry's just sitting there going. Yeah, I do also like they never drop the name Dracula. They just kind of imply Dracula.
Oh, it's totally Dracula.
But yeah, that guy looks like, I don't know. He reminded me of, I was trying to like put where
I feel like I bought a car from him once.
Yeah. Yep.
It does look like a used car salesman. Yeah.
I feel like I bought a car from him before.
Also, I have to say, I'm glad that what's her name, the main character, and
Melissa Barrera.
Yeah, they kind of like, she kind of calmed her eyebrows down a little bit in this movie.
Oh, Joey.
Yeah, dude,
They're a little more tame than they were in the Scream
Dude,
franchise.
and the Scream movies are like, why are there
Oh my
caterpillars going to...
I'm not gonna lie. I wondered why she looked familiar, but that's Yep, those eyebrows.
Yeah.
What?
Eyebrows.
Yeah.
Oh my
See, I
god.
thought she
That's
looked
why
good even with
she-
the big eyebrows, though.
She
She's so
looks good
pretty.
with... She
Oh no,
looks
she's
good.
very pretty.
She
She's
looks good
absolutely
with-
pretty.
She looks good with those bangs because they kind of like deal
good
with
eyebrows.
Dude, I love her and like, but the entire time in both the Scream movies, I'm like, your eyebrows are distracting. Your eyebrows are distracting. You have
It could be
caterpillars.
worse.
Yeah.
It could be the
I
bangs.
mean, it could be
okay?
Courtney Cox bangs from Scream 3, but we're
From
not.
part 3.
Yeah. Dude, what is insane to me? Insane to me is that was a wig. Why didn't they just use her natural hair then? Why? Why did you make a movie with a wig that made her look so...
I didn't know that she was wearing a wig in part 3.
Yeah, it
It's
was
a wig.
clip-in bangs because like she had somehow like accidentally cut her hair too short or something. So they had to, whenever they did shooting, and in order to keep things cohesive, they had to use clip-in bangs.
Boy, they really
That
didn't do
looked-
her the justice at all.
It looks like
pretty bad.
a toddler cut him with safety scissors. I mean, it's...
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Also,
That
I
is
wanna-
the worst one in the franchise for a reason. All right.
There are lots of reasons.
The
It's the
bangs.
last. It's the bangs are a big part of it, though.
bangs.
I have to say, I'm very happy that Dan Stevenson or Stevens, is it Stevenson? Whatever the
Stevens.
Stevens is like kind of getting a big time push because man, if you've ever seen The Guest, he is
Oh, so good, isn't it?
fucking fantastic, and it's just like this guy. And what
He's
is that?
good in this.
What is that fucking crazy cult movie on an island where like he goes to like save his sister or whatever, and the dude gets his head drilled with like the big manual drill? Oh, that movie is...
I don't think I've seen this, but I need to
Wait,
find
hold
out
on.
what this is.
I'm
What is
looking
that
right now.
called?
I'm looking for the name of it right now. It's it's a Netflix horror movie.
A
And
Netflix?
Yeah, it was on net. I think it was a Netflix thing. Dan, Steve. Okay, yeah, he was in. What was it called? I'm trying to look for the name of this damn movie. It's something like.
The
I don't-
rental?
I was going to be a smart ass and say
No.
Downton Abbey, but
Yeah, I almost said it too.
I don't know what the fuck. I think you. Oh, Apostle. There you go. It's on. It was on Netflix, but that movie is wild. Also, it literally has a scene where they like someone like breaks the rules, and they you just watch them drill into this dude's head with a fucking like a crank drill, and you're just sitting there going. Because it's so slow and it's so hard. It's just like, yeah. So, but I'm glad Dan Stevens is like getting fucking, because he was also in the Kong movie this year, I guess. And
yeah, he was. He was in
Yeah.
the new one, whatever it is, the new Empire or whatever. The
New
Godzilla
Empire.
Kong Empire, some
I'll-
shit.
also, what's his name? The muscle guy who has been in random things. And
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I always think of him as he played the Blob in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which obviously is a terrible
Oh
movie.
fuck, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, I always think of him as that.
He's
So-
really good in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good in this. I think
Yeah.
this is probably one of
Dude.
his better performances.
Yeah,
It
and
said online, I was looking at facts and stuff. Apparently, he approached them and wanted to utilize his accent and everything because he hasn't ever gotten a chance to, I guess.
Oh, is he from
And-
Quebec in real
yeah.
life? Oh, well,
Or
yeah.
shit. Yes, he's from somewhere.
Well, it's a Quebecan accent. So.
Yeah, so he wanted to do it, and they were like, yeah, sure. So
dude,
Very
I love
cool.
it. I got a splinter. It's a big splinter from this stupid stick. I'm like,
That
I
was
love
hilarious.
it. Yeah, he's like, I love him in this movie. Like, dude, every one of the characters is so good, and it's just like you varying degrees of like responses and everything like that, and then the scene where she like kind of calls them out and tells everyone what they really were. It's like, ah, because they had already caught her and
it
everything.
was
like
so
that.
Saw-esque, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, you means like the trying to figure out who was doing who or whatever. Like what?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. It's very much. No, I don't even say Saw. It was more like horror version of Reservoir Dogs, kind of like Reservoir Dogs, where it's like they're like, trying to figure out who everybody is and whatnot, and doing all this shit. And yeah, so I don't know, like, cause Saw is always like there's a person doing shit, unless it's Spiral, and you're like, oh, it's him, baby, because you don't have to like think about who does it. But
No, that was like so obvious. The second he walked on screen, I was like, killer.
dude, and I've said it before. Spiral's the worst. I literally think it's the worst
so
Saw
bad.
movie. But
it's so fucking bad. And the thing, here's why it's so bad. It has the best cast. There's not even. It's not even fucking close. Like it really. You have Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock.
yeah,
2 A-listers in your fucking horror movie. There isn't an A-lister in any of the rest of the fucking franchise, unless you want to consider Donnie Wahlberg an A-lister. But that's let's pretend in the world of Hollywood, he's not an A-lister. Maybe
Blood?
in the world of music, he might be.
you mean Blue Blood, Donnie?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Donnie. I think he's a very good actor. Honestly,
Yeah.
he's actually a very good actor. But
Yeah,
Spiral had the best cast.
I think that you can kind of compare, like, if you start going into the original Saw, because Lee Parnell obviously is in it as the one character.
I guess the original did have Cary Elwes in it also.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it's not even.
Cary Elwes ain't Sam Jackson.
And no, but you got Danny Glover, and Danny Glover is fucking awesome.
Danny Glover is, I mean, he's really, really good too. He's a good actor.
It's not Samuel L. Jackson, but yeah. But Sam Jackson was also in Deep Blue Sea, so let's like not act, and Snakes on a Plane. So it's not like all of his.
Snakes on a Plane's a fucking masterpiece. That movie's awesome.
There was a lot of passion behind that.
Yeah,
because I meant that shit.
I've never seen it, to be honest. So
it's fucking awesome.
So many motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane. Rah! So yeah,
Dude, that's the greatest line.
Yeah.
In the history of cinema. Well, dude, that's right up there with what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning. The same thing that happens to everything else.
Dude, that movie was the exact opposite of Abigail, where it was like they took a PG-13 horror movie and like made it R by saying motherfucker way more and all that shit. Like unlike Abigail that took an R, not Abigail, Megan. I didn't say where they took an R-rated movie and then took it down to PG-13 because of TikTok. It's very much like they reversed that with I said Abigail because we're talking about Abigail, but yeah, I also, you know why I think of Megan though, because the dancing is very similar to Megan with her, like when she's like dancing to kill people at the very end of the movie, it's
they put extra dancing in the movie because they were impressed with her dancing skills. Also, she played Matilda. So she's got a lot of experience with like theater and stuff.
Yeah, I had heard about the Matilda thing, which is cool. Yeah, that little girl is awesome. Like,
she's badass.
The whole cast of this film is fucking fantastic.
Really good.
It's just like, and it's like that thing where it's like an hour and almost like 50 minutes, right? And it feels like doesn't feel like any of it's wasted. It's very much like once you get going, it's very enjoyable. And like Radio Silence, man, and you guys could comment now. You haven't seen it, but Brian, you could comment. But the Ready or Not kill that they used repeatedly at the end of this film, where because I saw Chris Stuckman was like, oh, they really like doing this type of kill, and I'm like, huh? And you're like, oh, okay, it's the exploding body thing, which is
super fun.
That arm.
That's how Catherine Newton gets it. Well, I guess we're gonna spoil the fuck out of it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, but because that's how Catherine Newton gets taken out in this movie.
Well, I mean, she takes it. Dan Stevens gets that. Carlos.
Yeah, Dan Stevens gets it that way.
Carlos gets it.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, he gets it. I mean, he blows up, but not from the sunlight. But he's still
blow up, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's all the
because he gets stabbed in the back with the stake.
Yep.
And I hope you guys watched this.
If you're listening to this shit show and not like have watched it, I don't know what I can tell you. This is what we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's very much that, and I'm okay with that because it's
It was a pleasant surprise to see Giancarlo Esposito in this because I had no idea he was going to be in this movie.
yeah.
And I love him. I think he's great. I've loved him since Breaking Bad. He was fucking
Yeah.
wonderful in that.
You know the
He
meme
was the
that's
best thing about Far Cry 6 too.
yeah, I haven't
So,
played that one. You know
that's
the
not bad, honestly, but yeah, he's in that.
the meme that has come out of this movie is the go get garlic and she comes back with onions and
With onions?
yeah.
Those are fucking onions.
So good.
he Dan Stevens this entire movie it just plays that disappointed father kind of thing. Like it's pretty much like he's like disappointed in his kids. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's like
I'm
that
gonna have to
father.
send you guys the clip of the kid putting the chip clip on his wiener. Have you heard about this?
No.
Funny Instagram clip. It's the guy. The guy's in his kitchen and he's like doing something, and you hear his kid in the background. He's like, "Dad!" I was like, "What, buddy?" He's like, "I put a chip clip on my wiener." And his dad's just like, "That's great, bud." He goes, "It hurts." I bet it did. He's like, "Come look." He's like, "I'm not gonna come look at that. Bring me another one. I'm not bringing you another one."
Was this the same guy who shut his finger in his Tesla Cybertruck?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Did you see that, Ken? This guy goes. He puts a stick in the was it the trunk or the hood? I think it was the hood, like the engine thing. And he puts a stick in, closes it, the stick breaks, and he goes, "Oh, now I'm gonna put my finger in it and see how." I'm like, "You just watched it break a stick, you moron!" And it's dude. I'm sorry. If you bought a Tesla 5 years ago, cool. If you bought a Tesla since Elon bought Twitter, you're a fucking moron. You know what this idiot does, and you spent $150,000 or whatever that fucking like piece of garbage costs. I'm like, because people are like,
Tesla's ain't that expensive, bro.
no, the Cybertruck is.
You could.
Oh, the Cybertruck? That's not.
Yeah.
No one should buy that. That thing.
Yeah.
First of all,
No,
it's
that
ugly as
thing's
fuck.
hideous.
Yeah.
It looks
It's
like
like
a fucking PlayStation 1 car.
it looks like they like took the Halo cars and were like, okay, we're almost done, but
Warthogs.
but yeah.
They should call them the Pumas.
Yeah.
Is that what they call
The
them?
Pumas. Oh my God.
Call them Pumas.
The Chupacabra. The Chupa thingy.
There you go. But yeah, Dan Stevens in the disappointment. And then when he's not like, okay, I have a question for you two, and I want to know if this bothered you. The only thing about this entire movie that bothered me, why are all the vampires' teeth different? Why?
They wanted to make sure that the teeth look like predators, like sharks and whatnot. So they're not going to be perfect comparisons. I think that kind of makes it more "quote unquote" realistic.
But
I love the
I think
teeth
it makes
because they're
sense,
not
because
the same.
my teeth don't look like teeth.
Yeah.
But no, your teeth and my teeth are at least the same shape. Like
Not necessarily.
no, shut up, Brian. What I'm saying is
I'm
Okay to
with
be
Brian.
wrong.
that like
Just
what
admit it.
Carlos, whatever his name is, his teeth looked like were like inverted, like, or something weird. Like they had they looked more like, I don't even know what they looked like. I don't even know what to say, but his teeth looked real different compared to I understand the whole Dracula's teeth more like him and Abigail's teeth kind of look like shark teeth, right? And that's she's even got the it looks like rows of teeth you could kind of see in there. But
Yeah.
I was curious about why everyone else's look different from each other's. It was every vampire in this world has different teeth and
I don't know. I thought they all looked similar enough to be of the same kind of.
Similar.
they don't look
Yes,
similar
indeed.
at all. I mean, most of them do. But Dan, the Carlos or whatever his name is, the bad guy, his teeth looked like fucking, I don't know. They looked like saw blades. I don't know what the fuck they looked like. They just look different from everyone else. That was the only thing about this whole movie. I was like, why is this like this? And you said they just wanted to be other predator teeth, Ken?
Mm-hmm. They wanted to make them look like predator teeth, which is why, with her teeth, they had them set the way that they were. And yeah, I didn't notice a massive difference in their teeth, but they did want them to be a little bit different. But
Yeah.
I didn't notice anything massive.
I mean, Dan Stevens' teeth also looked more like His looked even sharper. Like he had the sharpest teeth I think out of him, besides like Dracula's there at the end. But like, I don't know. I that scene with he's got the blood the glasses on when he first becomes a vampire and he stakes the other one and it's just like he looks so cool covered in blood with like he's just like taking the glasses
I
off.
think that was an homage to the movie Near Dark, by the way,
Probably.
because that was
Dude.
very Bill Paxton from Near Dark.
I have to watch it again. The first time I watched that movie, it was another one of those films that people were like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing ever," and I'm like, I enjoyed it, but I think it didn't click on me with me as much as like I had been told it was going to click with me, and I just
That's
kind of
fair. I mean, it is a product of a generation a little bit before you, so because it came out in like '87.
Ken, what was that? You got to look like you, or are you just trying to prevent a yawn? I thought you had seen something, and you're like.
Oh no, I was trying to prevent a yawn. My apologies.
Don't apologize.
Don't apologize. Just don't do it again.
Don't do it again, or you're finished.
Finish him.
Yeah. I also like the one thing that I did wonder in this that was like it was interesting. I do like that this movie kind of had their own vampire lore because of like it wasn't super far off from like a lot of the stuff like we've seen, but like obviously the garlic didn't do shit, the crosses didn't do shit. But they took.
I like that they were like, "What kind of vampires are we talking about here? Are we talking about like this vampire, that vampire, Twilight?
vampires.
Like they're all different." Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Well, yeah, and it's true because all of them have different mythos, right? Like, and it's like very much like. But the thing that was interesting in this, they do the whole like, you bite someone doesn't make them a vampire. I mean, it makes them a what's that? What's that?
A
word?
puppet.
Yeah, but
Like a
there's
ghoul.
a ghoul or that's like I forget the actual word I'm looking for.
Familiar.
Yeah, something like that. And then you give them blood and they became it because like the scene with because what's her name, Lisa Frankenstein like when she became a vampire, like she was the one who like her teeth were so big it doesn't seem like she was like could talk with them very well compared to everyone else, which was fine because she wasn't a vampire very well or very long compared to everyone else, right? She was only a vampire for like 30 seconds. No, like
A glass of tea.
yeah, it wasn't very long. Yeah. Did you find what kind of cool info did you find while you were doing your
When
dives?
I was doing my deep dives.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much a lot of it I've already discussed. Let me see if I can find anything else. Really quick. Yeah, like I said, the dancing, they added more dancing because they were impressed by her dancing. They calling the frightened kidnapped child version of her character Abby and the alpha predator Abigail helped the girl actress Alicia approach her character as two entirely separate people.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool way, and it makes sense, like, you know, but it's a cool way to kind of encourage a child to be able to do that.
That's good direction right there.
Yeah. Also, this is just kind of random. It's just a random fact that Abigail in Hebrew is my father's joy. Just a really loose one. And they did run it under the name of Dracula's daughter.
Dude, the thing that like I think that I talked about here, but maybe it was like at one point where like Chris Stockman brought this up as a review of the movie where the weird thing about this film is that because of all the marketing she's a vampire, and how much would this movie have been like different going in? Like I kind of think this movie had that potential of being almost like Barbarian. Where you had...
Yeah, or what was the one? Was it called Pet? There it is. Yeah, it was called Pet, where like there's some kind of like weird twist on it that's similar. I don't know. There's a movie where there's a girl that's locked in a cage, and it turns out that she like is some kind of like you wouldn't know. Just based off of the description. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, like had this not been like, had we not known from the get-go that this was a vampire movie, it would have been even better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to live under a rock as well as I did with Barbarian for it, but I feel like that would have been
Is
Chef's
it-
Kiss.
Did you mean Hard Candy? Is that what you're thinking of? I don't know. Like I know that movie is like with a
Not
the-
Hard Candy, but I mean Hard Candy, same like concept, I guess.
Yeah.
But
where it's a little you think the little girl's a victim and she's really the fucking like predator in that movie and yeah.
oh
it's-
yeah, I
yeah.
am thinking of Hard Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
With what do you call him? It was the kid in that God from Juno and all that stuff. What's his name now? I can't think of his fucking name.
Michael
that he-
Cera.
No.
The one who played Juno.
Shit. Yeah. Elliot Page.
Or
Elliot,
Page.
yeah. I couldn't think of Elliot. That's what it was. I was like, Elliot. No, because that was Elliot Page in that movie, right? In Hard Candy.
Correct.
I thought
In
so.
Juno?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in Hard Candy.
And Hard Candy. I've
Yeah.
never seen Hard Candy. I've heard of it though. But I've never
Do you know what it? Yeah, it's about like a 13-year-old that like gets picked up by a sexual predator online, and she's really the predator, and yeah, and
that
yeah,
sounds
so
fun.
yeah, it's very much a twisted kind. It's kind of like a what's his name, Chris Hansen, but really way more fucked up. Would you like to take a seat? We're going to be murdering you now. I think I've never seen it, but I know of the movie. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look
yeah.
at that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So like this movie had a lot of great practical effects. I think the practical effects in this movie are awesome. I think the Scream guy, the Radio Silence guys really do know what they're doing with like horror. I mean, it's very much like they nailed 2 Scream movies. Besides, I have my own issues with Scream 6, which I mean, you take all the fucking like the risk out of it because every character in it's invincible. But like they know how to make a good horror movie. They've like because this is their 4th one. It was Ready or Not, Scream, and Scream 6, right? And then this. So they're like 4 for 4 in my book with like quality horror movies. Right?
They've done another movie too. Let's see here.
We're gonna do Ready or Not next week because Ken hasn't seen it.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah,
good to me.
yeah. And my it's I don't know. That's the type of movie that if you like this, it's another like very much a girl power movie, Ready or Not, which I think it's kind of like look at the Radio Silence is very like very much make girl power movies, right? Which I mean, you go back to 80s horror movies, they're all like, you know, final girls and whatnot. So yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
But yeah. Ken,
Yes, sir.
what else do you want to say about this movie? We have
I
this
just-
solo.
I was
Are you
I would
I
definitely
said
check it out.
good day.
I found it very funny. I thought it was really good. It's for people that are kind of squirmish with gore, maybe not your thing. There was one person on the cast that was talking about that there was so much blood in the movie that they did not expect there to be as much blood. But like whenever Frank turns, it's so good. Watching him violently vomit blood
So
was
good.
just glorious. Also, what a piece of shit that man was. What an absolute garbage human.
I mean, he was a cop. So, I mean, it's not all cops are pieces of shit. Just most of them.
Just most of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's just most of them. So yeah, it's you shouldn't be going like not all crocodiles would eat a human being. Just most of them. Just most of them. I don't
Who
know.
would you rather be in the woods with?
The bear.
Oh,
No.
A cop or a bear?
The bear.
Bear.
Fucking
Bear.
bear.
And definitely not a bear cop because I mean there we go.
Bear cop. You don't trust Smokey?
No, that's not what I meant. I meant the big hairy gay man kind of bear. That's what I meant.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I got you.
So yeah, no, dude, I don't want to be stuck anywhere with a cop. They love shooting and then taking. You see the cop? Where was it recently? The cops that like knocked into some young Air Force kid's apartment and shot him because he had a gun and it wasn't even the right apartment. I'm just like,
Jesus
I'm
fucking
laughing
Christ.
because it's so fucking. It's just like that thing where you go,
That's just kind of par for the course these
yeah,
days.
yeah. It's just like, oh, they wrong apartment. Okay, we killed someone. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Fucking
that
cops.
sounds right.
Dude, you know what? It's sad though, because this movie ends with like obviously Abigail's still going, and then Melissa's still going, and you sit there and you go, oh, they like left it where they could do like, oh, she needs her help again for something, and yeah, the financials of this movie ain't ever gonna get a sequel, and it makes me sad.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know. I mean,
I
I don't
wouldn't
think
say
it
that.
needs a
Critical
sequel, but
reviews are very important too.
Yeah.
This movie's gotten good reviews.
Well, but I guess I was thinking about Renfield. Renfield got okay reviews, but
It
like,
got okay reviews.
dude, that movie is fun too.
That movie
I
is very
loved
fun.
Renfield.
I loved
Yeah.
Renfield. Yes,
I just like
I thought it was a blast.
I don't get what people want and fucking. I mean, I don't know.
I cannot believe that people didn't want to go see Nicolas Cage play fucking Dracula.
Yeah.
yeah, like it was so
flabbergasted me.
good.
As popular as Nicolas Cage is, people didn't want to see him go play Dracula.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't know. I don't know if it was a product of bad marketing. I don't know if it was just.
We're seeing that was
It is
another
Universal.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's another Universal movie.
Yeah.
They're real good at promoting a horror movie. Oh wait, no, they're not. Like
the only it's fucking stupid because like they've put out the last 3 Halloween films and those all made money. They put out the last 2 Scream films. They distributed those. Those both made money. In fact, I think Scream 6 is the highest grossing Scream film out of all of them. And then they fumble aggressively one of 3 times now their most prized IPs, Dracula.
in the last year.
The last, and the 3 Dracula related movies that they've released. This is one of their prized IPs. We're talking about the birth of the Universal monster, Dracula. They fumble all 3 IPs related to that. The most precious fucking shit,
and none of it has been like the quality of the movies either. It's the fucking
not at all because all 3 of these
marketing.
movies are good.
Yeah,
like the Voyage of the Last Demeter is good.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. It's not fucking amazing. It's not redemption, but it's damn good. It deserved to make way more money than it fucking did.
It didn't deserve to flop like it did. Yeah, exactly.
No,
it's
not
just
at
like
all. And Renfield is super fun and goofy and it's a blast. And
Ken.
Abigail's is a fucking banger.
There she goes. Yeah, kid's back. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. That's all it is, man. I don't understand how these companies are like just not learning how to market. Like, and I just like it's like they don't want to say they're vampire movies because like, or I don't know how like. I really think Twilight fucked a lot of shit up for Hollywood. Like they made it go, I don't know what to do with vampire movies anymore because it's like, I don't know. It's like, how many good vampire movies that like made a bunch of money have come out in the last? What was the last good vampire movie that made a lot of money?
Oh Jesus! Well, you know what? Now
30 Days a Night. Did 30 Days a Night make a lot lot I saw someone shitting. Someone was shitting on that movie. Like I saw some list on like What Culture, and they were like doing like terrible movies that whatever, and I'm like, they got a couple movies in. I'm like, this list is garbage, and I turned it off because it was just hating on movies that I liked. I was like, nope, don't want to watch this. And that was one of the movies I think. And yeah, Ken, I like how Weasel just hides behind your head now.
I don't know, man, because like The Invitation didn't make a lot of money.
Dude, that movie made way more money than it should have, though.
I agree.
That movie, like, I think it made $60 million like its opening weekend or something like that. And that was like that I've never seen a trailer for a vampire movie that I'm like, this looks terrible. Like worse than like the fucking quality of that movie looked real bad. But
let's see. I don't see shit. Like Dracula Untold from 2014, believe it or not, made $282 million.
And they still consider that a flop, I think, because they probably spent $100.
Well, I think it was globally.
Yeah.
And it didn't do very well critically at all.
So
Dark Shadows made $329 million. That movie's a fucking piece of shit.
another PG-13. Those are both PG-13.
I don't think I remember Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows has got Johnny Depp in it.
It was a Tim Burton movie of a 70s British.
Oh God,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, we forgot.
Soap opera.
Morbius.
That movie only made $80 million. It's
It
Morbid
made
time.
$167 million
Wait,
globally.
Hold on. I never watched Morbius. Was it
You
a
are
vampire
missing.
movie?
Yeah,
He's a vampire. He's not a vampire, but he's a vampire Marvel
yeah.
hero.
He chases people and he's like, "Run away, run
Dude.
away, I'll attack."
I will go to the fucking up to bat for those first couple of 30 seconds to Mars albums. I think that Jared Leto is a fucking crazy person, but I think those albums are fucking great. And
I think every 30 Seconds to Mars album is a really good album. Honestly, I like all their music.
yeah, I like them.
He's a very hit or miss when it comes to acting, though, because I can't call him a bad actor because he is a good actor.
He won
He's
Best
a fucking
Supporting
Academy
Actor.
Award.
Yeah.
So we're
He's
talking
just-
about a guy that is definitely a good actor.
But no one in that movie besides Matt Smith looked like they were like having fun, and it's just like like Matt Smith is just like, okay, I'll ham it up for it. Everyone else is like, I'm so serious.
I feel like Jared Leto signed on to that without reading the script. And he was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to play a fucking vampire in a fucking Marvel movie. And then he read the script and he was like, fuck.
Or they did what they did to the Madam Web chick, where they
I never watched it, but I heard it's bad.
Yeah,
I heard it's really bad.
It's supposed to be real bad, but they also changed the script on her.
Really?
Yeah, in between when she signed on, it's just like,
Dakota
Sony.
Johnson, that's her name.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I did hear she's kind of. She didn't really talk shit about it, but she definitely said that she'll never do anything like that ever
She
again.
talked a lot of shit about it indirectly. yeah. I mean, let's be fair. She came out in doing Twilight fan fiction. If you don't know, 50 Shades of Grey was started off as Twilight fan fiction. So here we go. More vampire.
Yeah, but she proved herself in Suspiria, though, man.
I refuse to watch that movie because I love the
remake.
The remake's pretty good.
It's fucking good. Yeah.
I love the original, but the
Yeah.
new one, it went from an hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I'm like, there's nothing in that movie. Like, it's an hour longer.
It is long.
It's an hour longer.
It's really good though, man.
I
Tilda
don't know.
Swinton plays 2 roles in it, and
Isn't
so
dude?
good.
I don't know. I love the original. I think that original is
the original's obviously gonna be a bit better, and it is.
Soundtrack.
But this
and
remake
everything, yeah.
was damn good.
I sat down to watch it one day and clicked on it and saw the runtime and I'm like, fuck no, yeah, I ain't doing that. No, I'm good with that. No, fuck that.
It doesn't feel like it's long though.
Dude, that was like
Giggity.
Terrifier. Terrifier 2 is how long? I will never get off that horse. Fucking 2 hours and 50 minutes for that movie. Fuck, dude. Censor yourself.
Incredibly unnecessary.
Censor yourself, man. I'm
They
sorry.
could have cut so much shit from that movie.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I like goofy stuff, whatever, and I'll go off of it. I loved Abigail. Here we are. But like,
I like this. I like this a lot. I
Yeah.
would recommend this too.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
I
I
strongly
think-
recommend it. Yeah.
this movie's great.
It's a shame it's a shame more people didn't go to the movie theater to see this because this is really fun.
Dude,
Very
it's
cool movie.
man, I think that if Nosferatu fails, like I'm pretty sure it's going to, because I don't think
it's not.
Robert Edgar movies make that much money. So like,
No, they did pretty good. The Northman did pretty good.
I still haven't seen
They
that.
don't cost shit though.
I mean, the
I think
Lighthouse.
this is his most expensive movie.
what is?
I think Nosferatu is his most expensive
Yeah,
movie.
is it? I don't know. It's got Big Dick William Dafoe in it, so I'm cool with that. Again, I will never stop talking about it. William Dafoe was in the Antichrist, and they were like, he had a nude scene, and they were like, his dick is so big, it's not realistic. Stunt dick. We need a smaller dick because we don't believe William Dafoe's dick is that big. And I am Rod the Cod. I know how these things work. I understand having a dick that's too big for like your own good. So here we are. Here we are. Okay. Fuck, man. Okay. Brian, you have anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, but well, yeah, sure. Go check out my other podcast if you'd like. At We're Gonna Make You Watch podcast. I'm actually getting ready to record here in a half hour.
What are you guys watching?
We're forcing our buddy to watch Friday the 13th. I gotta tell you this story real quick because it's a very funny story. Okay, so we are forcing my best friend to watch Friday the 13th Part 3, but we are also forcing him to watch it in 3D.
Oh,
so we had to rip the DVD for the 3D, and then we checked it and it worked. It was like, oh, cool. It worked. It looks pretty good. Now became the challenging part, finding fucking 3D glasses. So, because it's the old red blue, 3D glasses. So I was like, you know what? I have the Nightmare on Elm Street box set DVD that came with 2 pairs of glasses for Freddy's Dead, so you can watch the ending sequence. I also moved. I don't know where the fuck it is. It's in a box somewhere in my house, and I was like, fuck. So I opened like 4 different boxes. I'm like, God damn it, I can't find it. So I said, okay, you know what? I bet I can go find some 3D glasses at like some stupid store like Five Below, like a Dollar Tree or some shit. They have them like clearance. They got dust all on them. They've literally been sitting there since 1979. So I was like, I could probably find a pair. So I grabbed Warren, the guy that I got to make watch the movie, and I'm like, okay, we got to go find fucking 3D glasses. So here we are in this quest to find 3D glasses in Kansas City. We went to Hobby Lobby. No, we went to Five Below. No, I was like, you know what? Let's go to a fucking vintage stock and buy an old DVD movie that's in 3D. Surely we can do that. So I get there and it's like, okay, I'm going to buy a DVD copy of like My Bloody Valentine in 3D. You can never have too many copies of that. As a horror collector, you can never have too many copies of that.
Can I
Everybody wants to watch that movie in 3D.
Can I pause for you a second?
No. So, because I'm going to forget if you pause.
I looked on Amazon for 5 seconds. You old motherfucker. You couldn't.
You don't understand. I needed them today.
Oh.
This all happened today.
Oh, okay.
This would have been a great plan 3 days ago. But I was confident that I was going to find my fucking Nightmare on Elm Street box set today. I was like, because I swore I saw it. So, anywho. We get to vintage stock, and I'm like, okay. So I go to the horror section, and it's not there. The fucking horror section is gone. Like it fucking went somewhere, So I asked this kid, and his name is Josh. I see him there all the time because I'm a regular at this store. So I was like, hey man, what the fuck happened to the horror section? He's like, well, our new manager's making us break it down and put it in the wall with the general section. So we're not going to have a fucking horror section. I was like, that fucking sucks. He's like, yes, it does. It's fucking stupid. But we need the room because we have a million fucking TV series because nobody's going to buy these copies of fucking Friends. So we get these. So I'm like, okay, I need a copy of like My Bloody Valentine in 3D on DVD. Do you guys have that? He's like, maybe. So he starts to walk to the thing so he can look, and then he turns around, and this is where I get a little offended. He turns around and he says to me, just like this, you don't really want to watch My Bloody Valentine in 3D, do you? And I was like, motherfucker, maybe. Like don't judge me.
I want 2 copies of it, bitch.
I know, I'm like, I will show you my tattoo because I literally have the miter on my back, right? That's like my shit. Yeah. Now, mind you, that's not the remake, that's the original, but I still enjoy the remake. Yeah. And I went and saw that in 3D the day it came out because that's how I fucking roll. Yeah. So I was kind of a little personally attacked. So I said, well, no, I mean, I just really need the glasses. He was like, oh, and I told him what we were doing. He said, oh, well, you know what would have glasses? Fuck this guy, okay? Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm buying Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So we go to the kids section and we find like Spy Kids 3D, another copy of Spy Kids 3D, Shrek 3D. We're pulling any fucking kids 3D movie that might have these glasses. Shrek 3D had 4 pair. So I bought Shrek 3D for $4
What?
so I could get 4 pairs of fucking 3D glasses.
What is Shrek 3D? Is my next
Shrek
That's
question.
amazing.
Oh,
Shrek 3, they did it in 3D.
that movie is terrible, by the way. I love the other ones. That movie is by far the worst
There's
Shrek
no
movie.
such thing as a terrible Shrek movie.
Have you
sorry.
what?
I've seen all of them.
What? Oh, what the fuck? I just hit
None of
play
them
on
are
my
terrible.
thing. Okay, you guys, at the 3 seconds of the home team that's on the recording, I'm sorry about that. I did not mean to do that. Okay, so
But no,
okay.
that was my. So real quick, shout out to my homie Josh, judging the fuck out of me, but coming through in the clutch.
You don't want to watch that movie, do you?
You don't really want to watch My Bloody
Dude.
Valentine in 3D. I was like,
That-
fuck you, man, maybe.
That movie,
You don't
that
know how I
movie,
get down.
that movie's reveal of the killer kind of like kills it for me. But I do generally enjoy most of that movie. But like,
It's
it is so exploitive kind of shit. Like,
Have
don't
you
they?
talked about that on podcast?
No.
Well, let's do that in a few weeks then.
Maybe. I don't think I want to watch that again. You want to watch My Bloody Valentine 3D?
Let's talk
Okay.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl, baby.
I would! Ken, you go to continue.com and you get her schedule, and stdmotel.com and stdhotel.com and quaintaintant.com. They all go to Ken.
Only nouns.
And only nouns. So do all those things and watch as Ken plays games where kitties knock things off of shelves and such
Yes.
things. So, yeah. And
fun.
Weasel see through. I have been fighting a frog for all eternity on Star Wars Jedi Fall
Have
or
you beat
Survivor.
that thing yet?
Nope, I haven't beaten the
Dang.
frog. And then I got tattooed on Saturday, so I don't have that done. So yeah, come follow me on Rod_Johnston on Twitch and Twitter, and buy my book, The Death and Rebirth of a Human Heart, which you can find on Amazon. So go do that.
yeah.
So yes, so I love you guys, and we will catch you guys next week for Ready or Not. And Ken will have her whole exploding human experience gone.
Yeah.
So catch you guys in the next week. Thank you for listening to this shit show. We love you. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Woof.
Ooh.